Here's my next project. 1983 XLX Sportster. Last year of the shovel head or iron head. And this was kind of the predecessor to the Hugger. Came with a single seat, real low, I think it's like 24 inches, something like that, 25 inches off the ground. And the Sportster was different than all the previous years. It's got the spin-on filter at the front, the generators at the front, although they changed that generator every year. They were different. And I'm out of breath right now. I just finished digging out half the foundation of my house on one side there. So this bike's been sitting for over 10 years. And I can see right now the head gaskets are weeping. So he just kind of wanted to get this bike running. And I'll probably be able to get it running, but it needs head gaskets. The battery's probably dead. The front brake is seized, the calipers. So I'll pull them off, probably going to pull all three of them off. Pop the pistons out and clean up the O-rings and all the gunk in there. I'll show you how I do that. But this will be the next series of videos, getting this bike running again. Okay. First thing is disconnect this battery. See if it's any good. I don't think so. Pop the seat up. It's a 7/16 as well. Here. I don't think this engine's ever been apart. You know, looking at all the nuts and bolts, it's got 44,000, almost 45,000 kilometers on it. Not very much. Hate to take it all apart, but they're gone. I was working in Thunder Bay, at Thunder Bay Harley Davidson's at Ted Chatou's shop. I think he still owns it. And that's where I actually started working on bikes there. I worked there kind of on a co-op from the college. And 1983, this bike just came out. It was a nice bike when it came out. I remember sitting on it in the showroom. There. Maybe 82 it came out. Maybe it was 82. This bike's in 83, but I think it did come out in 82. This style. And I was working in Ted's shop there, and I was working on a flathead.
Are you downloading something?
Yep. Anyways, back to the story. Yeah, I was working on a 45 flathead, and the guy I brought in wouldn't start. Really hard to start. And Ted said, "Man, Bruce, you check it out." They were busy at that shop. And I kick it over. Didn't seem like there's much compression. Did a compression check. Low compression. Put oil in the cylinders, and didn't increase the compression at all, or very little. So I said, "Ted, yeah, the compression's still weak." pretty bad. And he said, okay, we'll pull the head off and have a look at the head. So I pulled the head off. Flathead's pretty easy. And the valve guides were gone in it, completely gone in it. The valves you could just rattle, and so he called the owner about that. We put some new valve guides in it. That was the first bike I think I ever worked on. But shortly after that, I was changing a tire. They're teaching me how to change tires on the Harleys. And he probably still has it to this day up there. He's got a chrome bar about this tall, over 3 feet long, I would say. 1 inch twisted chrome steel. Pretty sure it was a spiral steel bar. And that was the bar you stuck in to change the tire, to lift the lip up and then spin it around. And I'm blind in my left eye, if you haven't figured that out yet. And I spun it around the tire and I turned around with the bar in my hand real quick like this. And Ted walked around the corner. I hit him right in the head. You could even hear the bar go ting, like a little like ting. I cracked him right across the head with it. I could have killed him. And he just was stunned for a second. I go, oh, geez, sorry about that, Ted. And never bled, never cut him, never went down. And he didn't say a word. He just turned around and kept on going. I couldn't believe it. I clubbed it. He's got to remember that. I mean, I hit him hard with that bar. I did it all the kind of in one motion, just to turn around and hang it up. And I'm surprised that didn't kill him. Man. Anyway, you know, this battery looks like a new battery, but guarantee that I don't think there's any water in it. Pop the cables, I'll pop that apart and have a look at it. Here's the battery. You can see it looks like it was, look at the stickers on it, it looks like it was a new battery at one time, but it's not cracked or leaking or nothing. Oh yeah, look. Check this here. I put the meter on it. It's got 4.6 volts. Something's not right there. And then when I took it out, I noticed the battery box was wet. And then I don't know if you can see here. Whole bottom of that battery's blowing out. I'm going to take a picture, email it to that guy. Well, first I think I'll get it running first before he has to go out and buy a battery. Tell him how much it's going to need, but go pick that up at Canadian Tire. Needs a battery. Next test. Old smell test. The gas cap doesn't smell very good. It's not, doesn't burn your nose like sometimes they do. Where's my flashlight? Here it is. Looks like new in there. Looks really, oh, there's green. You can see all the green in there. You're going to be able to see that in the video because I can see it in the camera. Oh yeah, she's all green and slimy in there. The next, like this bike hasn't run in over 10 years. That's, I'm not sure if I said that in the video earlier, but hey, what's going on there? The foot pegs are off it. So the next thing is I'm going to pull the air breather off, drop the float bowl, and see if that's green. If that's all slime green, that's going to be cleaned up. Need a carb kit. I got to start there. you know, I'll make sure this bike's going to fire up and run before I pull the heads off, and I'll get his permission from that first. But that's the next step. Pull that breather off. There we go. Oh, the filter's missing. There's supposed to be a filter element on that. Something else to get. Seven sixteenths again. I'll blast all them off. It's about 7 o'clock at night. I got some ribs cooking on the barbecue. So, gotta get this over. Need a wrench on this one. Good habit to put bolts and screws back where they came from. This is different every year. Like I say, they got the generator, alternator at the front of the bike this year. Some years they have it on the back, and there's the breather pipe going into the front of that. That's on there pretty loose. Somebody's changed this into a steel braided one. Would have normally been rubber. Okay, so now. Yeah, somebody's had these hoses all off too. They've been changed. Alright, I'm gonna get some screwdrivers. I think my ribs are about done. I'll get my ribs first. I'm stuffed. I bought these ribs at Menards in Port Huron in the States. They're huge. You get a slab like that big by that fat. Thick, big barbecued ribs. Oh, they're good. I only ate half. Maybe half of that slab. Not even maybe. And oh my God, it's so filling. I'm taking this hose off. This hose is going to need to be replaced. It's I can just tell it's gone hard from the gas sitting in it. I can't see if there's no gas in it, I'm sure. Oh, this cable's hanging out here. What's going on here? Yeah, this. So the pole cable's working. If you look right here at this cable here, there's a push and a pull cable. The push cable is an emergency. If your one cable breaks, you can shut the cable throttle up. You can see that one. All the slack in it here. It's probably broken inside. So he's probably going to need a cable. Oh yeah, this is hard. What I always try to do is turn the hose first, and then when you break it free, it comes out normally. But that hose is done. Pull this cable out. This cable's broken inside. It'll still run with that one cable though. That's all I need to get it going. Oh my God, I'm full. Too full for a beer. I'll leave that one in there. Get it out in a little bit. My Phillips screwdriver. Just the choke. It just slides through there. I'll disconnect that. Huh. This the choke's held down by this little bracket on here by the screw. It's not in right. Somebody's put the wrong screw in there and a nut on it, and that doesn't look right at all. And then the other cable I'll get off when I get the carbs off. This thing's fucking sharp, that thing. Cut my hand on there. They got the carburetor clamps on backwards. Holy crap. How the hell did they ever get them on? The carb clamps are pointing on this side here. They're supposed to be on the other side. And the only way to get it is this horn and ignition piece has got to come off. So somebody must have had that carb off before and had this off. It's like detective work. What the hell? Oh, looked like there was a dead bird in the brakes there, but it's just a big spider web. Need oil and filter change. There's the choke cable. I could lube that up when I got it out. There's the carb clamps down here. You can see that or not, but it's supposed to be pointing the other way. Makes it a lot easier anyways. Push. My niece is going to a motorcycle racing school tomorrow in Grand Bend. Actually, she started today. It's 3 days school. So I'm gonna go down there and I'll film her tomorrow. See how she does. Crap, this one's on there tight. It's got to be loose by now. more than likely the intake manifold is going to be has some cracks in it as well too. See how hard it is to get it out first. Oh, I hope I don't have to take those clamps completely off, which I might. Yeah, I gotta take those clamps right off completely. Oh, I got another project coming up too I'm going to be working on, I think. Working out a deal with somebody. It's going to be something different, never done before. And 1942 Ford Ferguson tractor. This lady needs some work done on her farm, and a little bit of construction work. She doesn't have much money, and in her barn she's got 2 old tractors. And I said, well, they're not worth very much then. They might only be worth their weight in metal at the scrapyard. If they're seized up, that's all they're worth. And so she called me up the other day there, and she said, sure, she'll make me a deal for one of those tractors. So that'll be interesting. I think it'll fit right in my garage here too. And, I'm on a private road, and my neighbor's moving. Come on. He's moving, and he's the guy that plows the driveway here. There we go. What the heck was going on with this one? Oh, the nut's spinning on the other end. Okay, that's got to be cleaned up. I'm not sure what this is. It's a vacuum switch, and it's got a manual choke. You know, unless it has to do with the ignition, but I don't remember ever. I can't remember what that is. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't remember seeing anything like that before. Okay. Yeah, I can really smell the carburetor, like the varnish in the gasoline. I can really smell it. So guarantee this is gonna be all gummed up, but I'll take it apart and show you. Just bringing this carburetor over to my bench here. It's dripping on the floor. It's dripped on my hands. And I think I told you in other videos, that carb shit that smells like Varsol doesn't come off your hands. I'll be sleeping with that all night. Probably for 2 nights. Gets into your hands, you can scrub it, wash it, everything. It does not come out. It's bad. My whole garage just is permeating in the smell right now. I'm gonna have to open up the window here. Open up the door. It was 96 degrees out today, and humidity was like 107 to 110 degrees, they said. And it's just starting to cool off now. Now they got, somebody's put a Phillips screw in there, and that should have been a plain one. There you can see all the yellow varnish in there. The jets will be plugged. It just stinks. I just hate it. Hate that smell. They have a real short, fat inlet needle. It's the idle circuit in here, main jet here, and the idle circuit's going to be plugged. See if I got a little bit bigger screwdriver for this one, maybe. Big enough. Holy mother. That sucker's tight. There's my light. I don't know if you can see that in the light there, but that hole there is partially blocked off. You can see it looks like the hole should be a white hole, and it looks green. It's a green hole. I used to have a really good snap-on ignition screwdriver, perfect for this, and that got stolen years ago. Look how small that is. That's plug solid. No light getting through that one. I'll soak those. I could probably just clean those up and get them going. I'll clean this carb up. Oh yeah, this is it here. Clean this out. There's a diaphragm in here for the accelerator pump. Not sure if that's going to work or not. I should pull that apart too, I guess, while I'm here. Yeah, it's got one different screw there. These are getting pretty old. I'm going to replace these. These aren't very much money. I think they're less than 10 bucks. Replace those. Soak the carb. And here's that screw I was telling you about. Somebody jammed it in there. That's not right. So that screw's wrong. I believe that screw's wrong, or these two are wrong. Oh, these are all wrong. Somebody's put a nut on each one of these as a spacer. So the Phillips one is the only right one. All of these other ones are all wrong. They got a nut jammed underneath every one of them. I didn't even see that when I took it off. I'll get the right screws. Yep, I'll clean that up. Well, that's video 1 for the Sportster. That's it.